Good morning, starting on Osceola.
Dalia Romero, Spanish interpreter on the line, Your Honor.
Oh, she back up? Yep. Do we have Spanish interpreters for Osceola?
I have a couple of Osceola.
You can call them in the order they come up, Your Honor, since
Are you certain?
I'm here anyway.
Okay.
Yes, because I'm here for Orange anyway.
Okay, all right, then Osceola, are you hearing me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Will everyone state their names and positions for the record, please?
Yes, Nando with the PD's office.
Officer Pat Hill on behalf of PTR.
Thank you. Each of the state and defense here.
Ann Whitaker for the state.
Andrew Clark, Public Defender.
And starting in Osceola, good morning. You are each here for initial appearance. Everyone here has the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you later. It is all being recorded, so it's important you not talk about your case. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you can't afford an attorney will be appointed to represent you. Starting first with Maria Antrim.
Your Honor, she's a reset.
Thank you. State versus Belfleur. Cynthia Belfleur. Ma'am, tell me your name.
Cynthia Belfler.
You are here for a warrant from Osceola County. Do you wish to have an attorney appointed?
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. These are warrants. It's $50,000, $10,000, $1,000 for a total of $61,000. You'll go in front of that judge. Okay? Your attorney will come talk to you, or if you bond out, make sure you talk to your attorney.
Your Honor, Pat Hill with PTR. Will you be taking any action on the case she's out on probation on?
No. I'll let probation look at it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Raymond Barrios. That's to be followed by Roy Berry. Sir, tell me your name.
Raymond Barrios.
Mr. Barrios, you're here for the charge of battery. Do you wish to have an attorney appointed?
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office. I have found probable cause. PTR prior record, please.
He has no convictions, Your Honor.
Sir, where are you working?
A restaurant, Payway.
How long?
I just got hired, Your Honor.
Where'd you work before that?
FedEx.
How long?
I just had to resign because of transportation.
How long did you work there?
About a week.
How long have you lived in the Orlando area, Central Florida area?
Around 5 months.
Set bond in the amount of $1,000 with PTR, which I show that you qualify for that, so PTR will come talk to you. You may not have any contact whatsoever with the victim in this case. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Stay in touch with your attorney. Roy Berry, followed by Brandon Cabalas. Sir, tell me your name.
It's Roy Berry.
Mr. Berry, you're here on a warrant for it's a failure to appear. The bond said it's $2,000. Do you want an attorney?
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And you'll go back in front of that judge on the driving while driver's license matter, okay? Stay in touch with your lawyer. Brandon Cabalos. Sir, tell me your name.
Brandon Savalas.
And you are here for driving while driver's license been revoked and a violation of community control. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes, it shouldn't be community control, though. It should be just probation.
Okay, that doesn't make much of a difference, but I hear you, thank you. Appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Yes.
What are you on probation for, sir?
Possession of cocaine, ma'am?
Then, on the violation of probation, set bond in the amount of $5,000 on the, which is an on-view arrest, on the driving while driver's license been revoked, set it in $500. Get in touch with your attorney, okay, sir? Stay in touch with him.
Yes, ma'am. Did you give me a bond on the VOP?
I did.
Oh, so I do have a bond? Oh, thank you so much, ma'am.
Have a good day. James Collins, followed by Johnny Diaz, followed by Michael Gaines. Sir, tell me your name.
James Collins.
Mr. Collins, you're here on an out-of-county warrant. You have a right to an attorney, but they're going to determine whether you qualify when you get to that county. And, oh, it's Orange County. So fabulous. Actually, your bond is set in the amount of $1,500. You'll be transferred up here to Orange County and then be first appeared again probably.
Ma'am,
Yeah, tell me.
they had told me I had the $1,500 bond, and I went to try to bond out yesterday when they had picked me up. And when I called the bondsman, they say I don't have a bond.
Well, I show it's $1,000 and $500, so we'll put that on the record again so you can bond out, okay?
Okay, thank you very
All right,
much.
you're very welcome. Make sure you pay attention to when your court dates are, sir. I did not know it's Osceola, even though it's where Orange, but almost did. Johnny Diaz, followed by Michael Gaines.
Your Honor, Johnny Diaz needs a Spanish interpreter.
Okay. Have you, if we can swear in the Spanish interpreter?
Raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm to translate from Spanish to English, from English to Spanish, the testimony given today? What's your name?
Spanish interpreter, are you there?
She said she, I thought she said she was, maybe.
I know.
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Okay. If we're gonna
Dalia
go-
Romero, Spanish interpreter for the record. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And did you hear the swear-in? Do you want it again?
No, I did hear it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Diaz, you are here for initial appearance.
Señor Díaz, usted está aquí para las primeras comparecencias.
For the charge of DUI in possession of a controlled substance.
Está aquí por la acusación de haber manejado bajo el estado de embriaguez y tenencia de una sustancia controlada.
I am finding probable cause.
Yo hallo que hay causas que respaldan la acusación.
You have a right not to say anything.
Usted tiene el derecho de no decir nada.
Anything you say can be held against you later in court.
Cualquier cosa que usted diga puede ser usado en su contra más adelante en el proceso legal.
You also have the right to an attorney.
También tiene el derecho de ser representado por un abogado.
If you can't afford one will be appointed to represent you.
Y si no puede pagar por uno se le puede designar para que le represente.
Do you want an attorney appointed?
¿Usted quiere que se le designe un abogado?
Sí, pero no ahora.
¿Sí o no?
Yo voy a buscar un abogado privado. Sí.
Yes, but I will get a private attorney.
Okay, I'll appoint the public defender's office at this point. When you hire someone, they'll withdraw.
Se le va a designar el defensor público por el momento. Cuando usted contrate a alguien, a ese abogado se le va a permitir retirarse del caso.
PTR prior record?
Se pregunta si tiene antecedentes.
He has between 2006 and 2011 convictions of burglary and a Dwillis in 2011. He also has an old 95 distribution of cocaine, which he was convicted of.
Set bond on the DUI in the amount of $1,000. Set bond in the amount of the possession of controlled substance in the amount of $100. That also includes PTR and substance abuse evaluation within 90, start treatment within 120.
Bien, la oficial ha dicho que usted tenía un caso entre el 2006 y el 2009, tuvo un caso de allanamiento. En el 2007 un caso de manejar con la licencia suspendida. En el 95 fue condenado por un delito de distribución de cocaína. La juez le ha designado una fianza de $1,000 en el caso de manejar bajo el estado de embriaguez. En el caso de tenencia de sustancia controlada, la fianza es de 100. Tiene que participar en el programa de libertad preventiva, ETR, y tiene que someterse a una evaluación de abuso de sustancias antes de 90 días y traer un resultado antes de 120 días y participar en consejería o tratamiento.
Get in touch with your attorney, sir.
Comuníquese con su abogado, señor.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Michael Gaines. That's followed by Kavai Abidez Dagan. Sir, tell me your name.
Michael Gaines, Your
Mr. Gaines, you're here on violation of probation. It appears to be 4 different cases, all out of Osceola County. Do you want a lawyer appointed?
And I had I do, Your Honor. I had a question about
Hold
that. I was
on.
wondering if you don't see.
Hold on. Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Yes, tell me your question.
Yeah, I was wondering if you don't see a discrepancy with that being 4 different cases because I
I'm
have
sorry.
some.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Because we're on technology, it's hard to hear you. Can you just back up a little bit? Just talk normal. I mean, stay where you are. Just talk normal.
All right.
Don't go into the microphone.
Okay. All right.
Okay? All right, now
All
go.
right. Well, I was wondering if you don't see any discrepancies with that being 4 different cases because I have some legal paperwork that they sent me before I arrived here that said I violated multiple conditions, but it's all the same case number. So I'm trying to figure out why I have 4 different paperwork that's saying the same thing, violation of probation.
It very well could be the same case number. Honestly, it doesn't matter a whole lot right now because I have CF162483, CF162306, CF162574, and CF162675. Don't say anything, okay? Because again, you have the right not to talk about it, and anything you say can be used against you. However, my suspicion is you pled maybe at one time to a few different cases, and you were on a concurrent probation, so it felt like one probation. But legally, technically, it has 4 different case numbers. That's my guess of what's happening.
Okay, so
Okay, but talk to your attorney about it. In between, though, it does, sir, in between, I want you to know that they set it at a no bond, and it's felony cases, so you'll go back in front of that felony judge, okay? Your attorney will come talk to you. Habitas Dagan, followed by Corey Jones, followed by Jackie Layson. Sir, tell me your name.
Bahman Habibzadeh Kiabi.
You are here for a failure to appear. It's a warrant for Osceola County. Do you want a lawyer appointed?
No.
Why not?
yeah.
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. The count 1 in the warrant is $2,999, and count 2 is $150. Stay in touch with your attorney, sir, once you bond out. Thank you. Corey Jones, followed by Jackie Layson, followed by Robert Landon. Sir, tell me your name.
Corey Jones.
Mr. Jones, you're here for initial appearance for the charge of possession of heroin and possession of drug paraphernalia You have the right not to talk about what happened. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer?
Sure.
Appoint the public defender's office. I am finding that you, I am finding probable cause. PTR prior record?
Yes, Your Honor. He has priors dating back to 1997, batteries, criminal mischief, failure to appear, drug charges. The most recent is a trespassing, which he was placed on PTR. That case number is 19MM2420. He violated that PTR, and a capias was issued on July 17th. He also failed to appear for his arraignment on July 22nd.
I thought the court date was on August 22nd, that's why I didn't go.
Okay, hold on, let her finish, okay? Hold on, let her finish, okay? I'm not making a ruling on that case anyways, but just let her finish. Go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, I don't see a warrant at this time, but one will probably be coming shortly.
Okay. You have an attorney on the case. Make sure you go talk to them and tell them about the fact that there might be a warrant on another case, okay? So they can handle that one also. You understand that?
What other cases, what other cases would there be a warrant issue for? I'm confused.
I don't know. I showed that it's MM192420, and it was a trespass. But it's not my world, so you would know it better than me, and I don't. Okay?
Yeah, I got that trespassing, that's what I missed court for on the 22nd, which I thought was August 22nd, because that's what my paperwork said, August 22nd.
Okay, but we're not here on that. We're here on the heroin.
Yeah, bro, I gotta get back to fucking work tomorrow, man, if I can miss my-
Well, hold on, I'm not finished. I haven't done anything related to this case. Sir, I'm sorry you're super frustrated, but I'd look at that, okay, if I were you. On the possession of
I
heroin.
just have to go to work tomorrow, man.
Well, okay, but there's no warrant out, I mean, we're just here on the heroin. And work will go a lot better if there's not weird allegations like this. I'll set bond in the amount of $1,000 and $500. Get in touch with your attorney, sir. Jackie Layson, followed by Robert Landon, followed by Montana Cisco. Ma'am, tell me your name.
Jackie Mason.
Ms. Nason, you're here for initial appearance for the charge of battery and criminal mischief. You have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer appointed?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will find probable cause and PTR, prior record.
She has one prior battery in 2012, however, it was dropped, no convictions.
Then, ma'am, where are you working?
I work for Crown Plaza Resort.
How long have you worked there?
3 years.
How long have you lived in Osceola County?
Over 12 years.
All right. We'll release you on your own recognizance. No contact whatsoever with the victim in this case. All right? You understand that?
Thank you, Your Honor.
And get in touch with your attorney, okay? Thank you. That's both counts, yes. Robert Landon, followed by Montanez Cisco, followed by Montoyo. Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
Tell me your name.
Robert Landon.
Sir, you are here for initial appearance for trespass, battery on a law enforcement officer or firefighter, 2 counts of that, and resisting with violence. You have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes, I do.
I'm sorry?
Yes, I do, thank you.
Okay. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Give me just 1 second so I can read this quickly. I am finding probable cause. PTR prior record.
Can I say something?
Don't talk about the case. Again, you have the right not to talk about it. Anything you say can be used against you. First
Yes, Your
appearance.
Honor, he has 13.
Hold on just one second, I'm sorry. I know we talk over, I know the technology here. The probable cause is a really low standard, and I'm just finding enough that it's okay that you were arrested, especially on the trespass. So that's what I'm really looking at. So go ahead, PTR.
He has 13 priors between the years 1988 and 2012. That's here in Florida. DUIs, he was convicted of a robbery with a firearm, possession of liquor underage, drug charges, ag assault with a weapon. He has a DUI out of New York in 1992 and a Dwillis, October 2018, out of Georgia, in which there is an active warrant and a hold is in the system for that.
All right,
But they call
go ahead.
that warrant,
Okay,
I'm taking care of that warrant. I'm taking care of that, and they don't want to extradite. And it's up in Georgia, and I just can't afford to go up there and I've been talking to them. And all those other things were from decades ago. I hadn't harmed or threatened to harm anybody.
okay,
This is just punishment because
okay. I hear you. I'm listening to you completely. Let me go ahead and tell you your bonds, okay? Is that okay? All right, you ready? All right, I'm gonna set bond for the trespass in the amount of $250, ROR on the remaining cases, no contact whatsoever with the victim, and get in touch with your attorney. Okay?
so what's my total bond?
Public defender? Public defender? Public defender?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you prefer that I put some bond on the other counts because, of course, he won't be getting any time on it if he is transported to Georgia. So I'll come back to that after you have a chance to talk to him.
Yes.
Montanez Cisco, Willie Montanez Cisco. Sir, tell me your name.
Willie Montanez Cisco.
Sir, you are here for initial appearance for a out-of-county warrant. Oh, that's for Osceola County, is that right? No, hold on. For Orange County? You have a right to a lawyer, but they will determine it once you get over to here. The amount of the bond is a no bond. That's on CF 186656. So they'll transport you to Orange County, and then you'll be back at initial appearance tomorrow, I think. Well, probably not tomorrow, but this week. All right, anything else, sir?
No, it'll be all.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Moises Montoya.
Yes, Your Honor, Ms. Montoya is a reset.
All right, we will reset. Ineski Negron, followed by Ogden, followed by Rios. Ineski Negron. Tell me your name.
Janexi Negron.
You are here for initial appearance for the charge of petty theft. Do you want a lawyer appointed?
Sure.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Where do you live, ma'am?
I live in Tonawanda, New York.
And how long have you lived in that place in New York?
For about a year.
Are you gonna be able to bond out?
Yes.
Okay, I'm set bond in the amount of $500 then. Get in touch with your attorney, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jessica Ogden, followed by Danielle Rios. Ma'am, tell me your name.
Jessica Ogden.
Ma'am, you are here for, it shows a failure to appear on a possession of methamphetamine and a possession of drug paraphernalia. You have the right to an attorney if you want an attorney appointed.
Yes, ma'am.
Appoint the public defender's office. There's a bond set for $5,000, count one, $500, count two, for a total of $5,500. Thank you.
Your Honor, on the first count, Your Honor, on the first count, she's unemployed at the moment. Can you consider lowering that first
It
count?
shows as it's a different judge's warrant. tell me, your reason why you think it should be lowered?
She's unable to afford that at this time.
Okay, I'm gonna let you talk to that judge about it, okay? It'll go back in front of that felony judge. Daniel Rijos, followed by Joshua Rodriguez, followed by Kelvin Rosado. Hello, sir, tell me your name.
Daniel Rijos.
Mr. Rios, you're here for initial appearance on a failure to appear on a Duelis. That's two different cases, and a failure to appear for no valid driver's license. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Point to public defender's office. On the first case, the two driving while driver's license been revoked, the bond, the judge set the bond, no bond. On the no valid driver's license, it's a $250 bond. You'll need to go in front of that judge, and an attorney will come out and talk to you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck to you. Joshua Rodriguez, followed by Kelvin Rosado, followed by Stephen Rubin. Hello, sir, what's your name?
Joshua Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez, you are here for an initial appearance. There's two different cases. One's an out-of-county warrant. That is Polk County. That case, you have a right to an attorney, but they'll determine whether or not that you qualify for it when you get to Polk County. It's a bond in the amount of $500. As to the other charge, which is possession of controlled substance and possession of cocaine, do you want an attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Went to public defender's office. I am finding probable cause. PTR, prior record.
He has no Florida history, and he has 2 DUIs out of the state of California, one in 2016 and one in October 2018, which he was given, it appears to be 3 years probation, and I'm not sure what the status of this at this point.
Sir, don't talk about it.
No, that's.
Don't talk about it.
That's not-
I was,
Don't talk about it. It doesn't matter.
I was over here in Florida.
Okay, I've got a question that will help me though. Can you tell me, can you hear me? Okay. How long have you lived in Florida?
I lived in Florida for a year, and I lived in Minnesota for a year.
I don't want to hear about Minnesota. Answer my questions, okay? Where are you currently working?
I just started working at Express. It's a temp agency.
And what family
And
do
then
you have?
before that, I was a nurse.
Okay, and what family do you have in this area?
I have a mom.
Your mom lives
Cousins.
in Kissimmee area?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm gonna set bond the amount of $1,000 for count 1 and ROR count 2. Get in touch with your attorney, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Calvin Rosado, followed by Stephen Rubin, followed by Angel Sarmento. Good morning, sir. Tell me your name.
Kelvin Rosado.
Sir, you are here for initial appearance. You have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Point to public defender's office. Give me one moment so I can read over the charges for finding a probable cause. I am finding probable cause, set bond in count 1 in the amount of $30,000, no contact whatsoever with the victim. As to count 2, $1,000, again, no contact whatsoever with the victim in this case. You understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Stephen Rubin, followed by Angel Sarmento, followed by Raymond Stafford. Stephen Rubin. Sir, tell me your name.
Stephen Rubin, ma'am.
And you are here for initial appearance for the charge of battery and criminal mischief. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
I am finding probable cause. Prior record.
Yes, Your Honor, he has 19 total priors, 11 of them as a juvenile. He has a total of 15 prior violent charge arrests, and he has 5 active injunctions with different victims. He had a battery domestic in 2017, followed by battery domestic in February 2018, October 2018, battery domestic by strangulation. And upon further review, I understand we put bonds with PTR on the recommendation, but upon further review, we find that he does not qualify.
Then I will, at this point, set bond in the amount of $10,000 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. Thank you, sir. Get in touch with your lawyer. Angel Saramento, and no contact with the victim whatsoever. Angel Sarmento, followed by Raymond Stafford, followed by Torres Moreno.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sarmento needs a Spanish interpreter.
Madam Spanish interpreter, are you still on the line?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Sir, you are here for initial appearance for the charge of battery.
Señor, usted está aquí por primeras comparecencias para el caso por agresión de agresión.
You have a right to not talk about the case.
Usted tiene el derecho de no hablar de este caso.
Anything you say can be held against you later in court.
Cualquier cosa que usted diga aquí puede ser usado en su contra más adelante en corte.
You have a right to a lawyer.
Usted tiene el derecho de tener un abogado.
Do you want a lawyer?
Sí,
¿Usted quiere un abogado?
sí.
Yes.
Appoint the public. Okay, I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Bien, le designo el defensor público para que le represente.
Gracias.
Thank you.
I am finding probable cause.
Yo hallo que hay causas que respaldan la acusación.
Prior record, PTR.
Se le
Honor, he
pregunta
has
al
no
departamento
priors.
si tiene antecedentes. Él no tiene ningún antecedente, su señoría.
So where are you living currently?
Señor, ¿dónde vive usted actualmente?
En Kissimmee, en la 185 North Lake Court.
How long have you lived in
En
Kissimmee?
Kissimmee 185 North Lake Court. ¿Cuánto tiempo lleva viviendo en Kissimmee?
Donde actualmente vivo por 2 años más o menos.
Where I'm living at the present time, more or less for 2 years.
And where are you working?
¿Dónde trabaja usted?
Trabajo en Junior Davis Construction.
Repítame.
Junior Davis Construction.
I work at Junior Davis Construction.
How long have you worked there?
¿Y cuánto tiempo lleva usted trabajando ahí?
Como 1 año.
About a year.
What family do you have around?
¿Qué parientes tiene usted en el área?
Tengo una hermana y una sobrina.
One brother and a niece.
I'm going to release you on your reconnaissance. It's important to stay in touch with your attorney.
Yo le voy a permitir salir bajo palabra, pero es importante que usted se mantenga en contacto con su abogado.
Thank you, sir.
Gracias, señor.
Oh, and I'm sorry, sir, no contact
Señor.
with the victim whatsoever.
No puede tener ningún tipo de contacto con la víctima.
Thank you.
Está bien.
Gracias.
Está bien.
That's fine.
Raymond Stafford. followed by Torres Moreno, followed by Rodriguez. Hello, sir, tell me your name.
Raymond Stafford.
You are here for initial appearance for the charge of battery. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes,
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
sure.
Just one moment. I will find probable cause. Prior record, please.
He has no Florida priors. Out of the state of Georgia in 1996, misdemeanor possession of marijuana and disorderly conduct. In 1999, a Duelis, which was a conviction. Nothing since then.
Sir, how long have you lived in the Kissimmee area?
I live in St. Cloud. I've lived there for 17 years.
And where are you currently working?
Moby Care.
Say it one more time.
Moby Care.
How long have you worked there?
10 years.
I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. Get in touch with your attorney, okay? No contact with the victim in this case. Torres Moreno?
And she'll need a Spanish interpreter, Your Honor.
All right, Madam Spanish interpreter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, you are here for the charge of battery.
Señora, usted está aquí por la acusación de agresión.
You have a right to an attorney.
Usted tiene el derecho de tener un abogado.
Do you want a lawyer?
¿Usted quiere un abogado?
Sí.
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office. You have a right not to talk about what happened in this case.
Usted se le va a designar el defensor público. Usted tiene el derecho de no decir nada de lo que ocurrió en este caso.
Anything you say to anyone other than your lawyer can be used against you in court.
Cualquier cosa que usted diga a cualquier otra persona que no sea su abogado puede ser usado en su contra en un tribunal.
I am finding probable cause.
Yo estoy hallando que hay causas que respaldan la acusación.
Prior record.
He has
¿Antecedentes?
no priors, Your Honor.
No tiene antecedentes, su señoría.
How long have you lived in the Kissimmee area, ma'am?
Señora, ¿cuánto tiempo lleva viviendo usted en el área de Kissimmee?
1 año.
1 year.
And are you working?
¿Está usted trabajando?
Sí.
Yes.
Where?
¿Dónde?
Altura 20.
Altura 20. Altura 20.
How long have you worked there?
¿Cuánto tiempo lleva usted trabajando ahí?
5 meses.
5 months.
And do you have family in the area?
¿Tiene usted parientes en esta área?
Sí.
Yes.
Whom?
¿Quién?
Mis hijos. Primos.
My children and cousins.
Okay. I will release you on your own recognizance. Make sure to get in touch with your attorney.
Le voy a permitir salir bajo palabra. Asegúrese que se mantiene en comunicación con su abogado.
And no, you may not have any contact with the victim in this case.
Y no puede tener ningún tipo de contacto con la víctima de este caso.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maria Rodriguez.
Your Honor, she's a reset.
Right, thank you. We'll reset it.
And
Any-
the case that you wanted to come back to earlier, Robert Landon,
Yes,
we could leave the other charges, let it be as ROR.
just
That's
leave it.
fine.
Okay, thank you. Anything further, Osceola?
No, Your Honor, have a good rest of your weekend.
You too. Is this my top ones?
Creole was, which was Creole, Anton? And, so, okay. Let me put them on.
That looks like a small docket again, huh? Wow, quiet weekend. I don't have initial appearance again until 2021.
Oh, wow. What you was saying earlier, right?
Yeah, I did, we divided it where
Spanish we got what, 4 or 3? 3? Okay, I just wanna make sure that, okay, these are 3 Spanish.
I take it, Madam Interpreter, you're much more comfortable with Spanish than Creole, right?
That is correct, Your Honor,
All right.
yes.
Oh, worth a shot.
Mercy and we, it's all you can get out of me.
I believe we have 3, and they're coming out now.
Thank you.
Sir, tell me your name.
Pedro Luis Santos.
Pedro Luis Santos.
You are here for initial appearance for the charge of neglect of a child and battery. Can you hear?
Is it why you turned up on the back of the side? It should.
See, if he can just
Just take off the headphones.
adjust them.
Oh, okay.
He can adjust them to
Okay.
them.
There you go. And then put the voice one up closer to your mouth. too.
Ay, y el microfonito más cerca. Ahora me puede escuchar, ¿verdad?
Sí. Sí.
He can hear the interpreter.
Okay. Morning, sir.
Buenos días.
You
Good
are-
morning.
You are here for initial appearance for the charge of neglect of a child and battery. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say to anyone other than your attorney can be used against you later in court. You have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer?
Sí.
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Is anyone here on behalf of Pedro Santos? Does not look like it. Then, prior record, PTR?
He has no criminal history.
Sir, where are you working?
No.
How long have you lived in the Orlando area?
Yo viví un año en Orlando y ahora llevo 2 años viviendo en Apopka.
I lived 1 year in Orlando and now I've been living in Apopka for 2 years.
And what family do you have locally?
Mi papá.
My father.
On the battery, set bond in the amount of $1,000? Or did you say no prior record?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sorry. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance on both counts. No contact whatsoever with the victim.
Does you have extra, conditions that maintain separate residence and no weapons or firearms?
And you must maintain separate residence, may not possess any weapons or firearms. Get in touch with your attorney.
Can I say something to the court?
Don't talk about the case. And you're being released today. So what you need to do is go talk to your attorney rather than talking to me. I look nice, but they're on your side. Thank you. Next is Jose Angel Rosado Baez.
Yes.
Will you? Sir, you are here for initial appearance for the charge of no motor vehicle registration, for driving with driver's license revoked, and possession of cocaine. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You also have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I am finding probable cause. Prior record?
He has 6 felony convictions, 7 misdemeanor convictions, 3 failure to appears, 5 unknowns, 0 DOC.
Set bond for the driving, or for the possession of cocaine in the amount of $1,000 remaining in the, as a driving while driver's license permit revoked, $100 and $100 on the no motor vehicle registration. Thank you, sir. Get in touch with your lawyer. Sir, tell me your name.
Josué Santiago Rivera.
Josué Santiago Rivera.
So you're here for warrants because they say you failed to appear on a possession of heroin, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting without violence. You have the right not to talk about this case. Anything they said can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer? Point the public
Pero
defenders.
Tengo una pregunta.
Yes, but I do have a question.
All right, first my question, which is the lawyer one. I'll reappoint the public defender's office to represent you. And yes, your question.
Que a mí me llegaron las citas de la corte, pero ahí yo no vivo. Hace 6 meses y yo la había cambiado esa dirección. Yo vivo en S. Orange Blossom Trail 330.
Hold on 1 second, sir.
Un
Pause.
momento. I have received the court dates, but I do not live at that address, and I had done a change of address. I live on South Orange Blossom Trail.
Judge Johnson, let me see, did we do a change of address or what happened?
Do you know who Division 19 is?
Johnson.
Who?
Did I say Johnson?
19?
You retired
I'm
years
sorry,
ago.
Jordan, I'm sorry, Judge.
Jordan, yeah, that's right.
Jordan, I seen Johnny first. I haven't seen anything.
What type of charge is that again? Set bond in the amount of $5,000, count 1, $100, count 2 and 3. Sir, it's your responsibility to find out when your court date is. If you have to call the clerk's office every day and talk to your attorney 3 times a week, I need you to do that, okay? So once you bond out, make sure you stay in touch. All right? Okay? All right.
Okay, thank you.
Get in touch with your lawyer.
Comuníquese con su abogado.
Okay, la fianza es... Okay, fine.
Any other Spanish interpreter cases? With a head shake no, and being that your Creole isn't any better than my Spanish, probably. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a good weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Sir, tell me your name. Mr. Hill, you are here for initial appearance for a violation of probation. You have a right not to talk about this case. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and it's a no bond, so the public defender's office will be out to see you.
Is there any way I can get a bond?
No, you gotta go back in front of that judge. There's a way that they'll give you a bond, but you need to talk to your attorney.
Okay, how do I do that?
They'll come talk to you.
This one.
You know how soon, ma'am? I'm sorry.
No, this one.
Mr. Clark, how soon will they come see you?
Probably within the next week.
Within the next week. Thank you. Especially right now, right?
What?
How I entertain myself.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Oh, God. Sir, tell me your name.
Juleno Nicholas.
Mr. Nicholas, you are here for a failure to appear on a misdemeanor case. It's a petty theft. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And this is set at a $500 bond right now. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Make sure to stay in touch with your attorney. Sir, tell me your name.
Delcorn Charles.
Sir, you are here for initial appearance for a charge of trespass. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Is this applicable, isn't it? Do you want to resolve it?
Sure.
Okay, it's up to you. If you wanna be released and then come back to court, I'll do that. If you wanna resolve it, I'll take that today. Your choice.
I'll just resolve it.
All right, raise your right hand to be sworn. You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
Put your hand down. Tell me your full name.
Delcorn Charles.
And sir, do you understand you have a right to a jury trial in this case where the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you committed this offense?
Yes.
Do you know at that trial you have the right to cross-examine, confront the witness against you, and contest the evidence against you?
No.
Do you know you have the right to bring your own witnesses, your own evidence, and you could testify, but you would not have to?
Yes.
Do you know you're giving up all those rights? All that's left is this court to sentence you.
No.
Has anyone forced you to enter this plea? Has anyone forced you to plead?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything?
No.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or intoxicants?
No.
Taking any medication affecting your thinking?
No.
Do you know if you're not a U.S. citizen, you'll be deported?
Yes.
All right. Find that your plea is freely, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Find there's an adequate factual basis by reviewing the affidavit. State, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, anything further?
No.
And, sir, anything you want to tell me?
No.
Then, in this case, adjudicate guilty, sentence to 1 day Orange County Jail, credit for 1 day time served, impose all the statutory required court cost fees, cost of prosecution. All those amounts of money have to be paid. How many years will it take you to pay it?
Judge, it shows that in his other cases, the order denied the motion to continue finding him income. Only 2 cases he got no bond. Motion for conditional. Well, it was denied, so I mean,
Yeah.
so he's okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I put it in the competency problem. Sorry.
Make sure, you know, and he wasn't,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry, Judge.
How long, no, you're fine. How long do you need to pay?
I don't have the money.
Any idea how long you want to say? You say it, I'll order it.
Give me a year, I guess.
You want more?
Sure.
How long?
About 5 years, Judge.
5 years, up to, pay it within 5 years, okay?
All right.
Good luck to you.
And he-
Sir, you might have other cases, the public defender's office, you need to go talk to them, okay?
Are you taking no action on the open cases?
No. Competency issues, if you want to follow up, including a motion to withdraw, if you want to do that too. Just so you know.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, tell me your name.
Alain Romero.
Sir, you are here for initial appearance. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford an attorney, attorney will be appointed to represent you. Do you want an attorney?
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Where are you currently living?
I'm homeless.
Mr. Clark, I'm going to give the same offer again. Do you want to resolve it today, or do you want to be released?
I want to be released and resolve it. Is that what you're asking me?
She's either going to let you go, like on ROR, and you'll be able to get out, but you still have a case.
That's fine. Perfect.
Okay, all right, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. So you're homeless, and sometimes the world looks different to you than it does to other people. Is
Yes,
that fair?
that's true. Yes.
Right. So it's going to be really, really important. It's going to be a little bit harder for you to make sure to get in touch with your attorney, okay? But I need you to try to do that, okay?
But let me ask you something.
Yes.
At the Coalition and at the Salvation Army, both places I've been, to get more humanity in me, they both threw me away. They wouldn't let me in. And so now,
Do you know where the public defender's office is?
no.
Do you know where the big courthouse is?
Oh, by the library?
Well, no, the library's, kind of, it's in the same city, but it's the really, really tall building. You can almost see it from the Coalition, if you just kind of look up to the tall building.
I'm sure he can, or someone can write it down for me, the address.
Do you think you could find it?
It's Ninth Circuit.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
All right, go there tomorrow morning. They have social workers there, and maybe they might be able to help you find a place other than the Coalition.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so go there tomorrow. Good
Thank
luck
you.
to you.
Okay.
Here you go. This is the address.
Or at least on reconnaissance. Sir, tell me your name.
Elderly.
And, sir, do you want to be released on this case, or do you want to,
I want to be released.
okay. Do you want to complete it today?
I want to complete it today.
It might be the same issue, Mr. Clark. Do you want just release, or do you want to go ahead and handle it?
No, I think this one we can handle.
Okay. Sir, will you raise your right hand to be sworn, please? You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yeah, I swear to give the truth.
Okay. You can put your hand down. Do you know that you have a right to a jury trial on this case?
Yeah.
Do you know at that trial, the state would have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you did these things?
Yeah, I prove it.
Okay. Do you know at that trial, you'd have the right to cross-examine and confront witnesses against you and contest the evidence against you?
Yeah, I'll take the witness and test salvation.
Okay. Do you understand you have those rights?
Yeah.
Do you understand you're giving up those rights by entering a plea here today?
I'll take the plea to leave today.
Okay. Has anyone forced you to enter this plea?
Nobody forced me.
Has anyone promised you anything else other than what I've said?
Nobody forced anything, nothing else.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or intoxicants?
No, I know drugs are Africans.
Are you taking any medication that hurts your thinking?
No medication are hurting.
All right. Do you know if you're not a U.S. citizen, you'll be deported?
Yeah.
All right. I will find your pleas freely, voluntarily, intelligently made. State, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, anything further?
No, ma'am.
Sir, anything you want to tell me?
Nothing I want to tell you.
Okay. In this case, I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentenced to 1 day Orange County Jail, credit for 1 day time served, impose all the statutory required court cost fees, cost of prosecution, defense, how long?
Oh, 5 years is fine.
To be paid within 5 years. You have 30 days in which to appeal the judgment and sentence. If you can't afford an attorney will be appointed to represent you. Any appeal must be in writing. Good luck to you, sir.
So I'm going to be released today?
Yes.
All right, what time?
I don't know. My authority ends here. Good morning. You both have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford one will be appointed to represent you. Ma'am, tell me your name.
Tawana Fajita Washington.
Miss Washington, would you like a lawyer?
I don't think I do.
Why not?
Because the representation,
Uh-huh.
I will firmly say I don't want to involve, I don't know how to not involve somebody in something that I'm not going to plead guilty to.
Okay. I'm gonna, at this point, go ahead and appoint the public defender's office.
I mean, do I need one?
Well, you're charged with, it looks like a petty theft. And I also show that perhaps you have another case that burglary going on. So I think it's probably best you have one.
I'm only here on petty theft. I got out June 14th by Judge Jennifer Harris.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
yes, and yes, you release me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm only on here on petty theft and I want to plead no contest.
Right, I'm not gonna take the plea here today on that petty theft, because it could really affect you on the other case. So I'm gonna go ahead and appoint the public defender's office. I believe you were released on a conditional release, weren't you?
No, I was released because I was incompetent to proceed for trial. And you say we're not going to do anything without you. You're leaving here today. You didn't. I didn't have no probation or nothing. I was set free.
Okay. I'm going to, hear me on this one. On this petty theft, I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance, so you're gonna get out again, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
But you have to go get in touch with the public defender's office this week, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office. You get in touch with them, because there might be other things you need to be doing right now.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, before you come back to court with me.
So today I'm going to be released.
Yes.
Thank you.
We'll see you back in court.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So no action on that other case.
Hello, tell me your name.
Danielle, Nicole Lenoci.
No, I'm not taking any action on that one. She was ruled incompetent already. Ma'am, you are here for an out-of-county warrant and you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. But
Okay.
they're going to determine whether or not you qualify when you get to Osceola County.
All right, I was in the hospital and I just got out, so I could not call on the Wednesday because I was in there. I didn't know the number or anything. And I'm supposed to call every Wednesday just to report to the mental health PTR.
Okay. Is that for the Osceola one, or is that
That
from
one's-
mental health here?
No, that's, whatever happened in Osceola. I'm only supposed to call every Wednesday, but because I didn't, that's the only reason I got a warrant. So am I able to leave today because of that, or call the woman up today, or? That's all I have to do is give her a call and say, hey, I just got out of the mental hospital and she'll let me out.
Who's the judge, do you know?
I'm not sure exactly. There was a woman I saw once and a man a separate time. I had just gotten out of the mental health hospital, so it's like I can't tell them nothing on a Saturday, you know? I can't call on a Wednesday when it's Saturday, so I had missed Wednesday, I guess, but because I was in the hospital, I wouldn't get in trouble for it, you know?
This is MM19392. And which hospital were you in, ma'am?
South Seminole.
Okay. I am going to release you back to PTR, Mental Health PTR.
Thank you, ma'am. Can you help me with the number to call them?
But you need to get in touch with them.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need them to help you with the number.
Osceola, though?
All
Yes,
right.
it's Osceola.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's Osceola. It's Osceola, not Orange.
Right, but I don't know if we can do the paperwork or anything for it.
I understand that. It'll have to be Osceola.
All right.
And Mr. Clark, I'm gonna need you to follow back up on it, okay?
That's the thing,
Like, send her over there?
we can send her over there, but we can't.
That'll take like
I don't know
a
if
few
we can do
days. Mr. Clark, you'd rather me do it this way, wouldn't you, even though it's gonna be confusing for people?
Yeah, I don't care if it's confusing for them.
What I don't know, though, is because of that, because it's a different jurisdiction, it might take Osceola a little while, because she'll need to be signed out, so it might take them some figuring out of how to get it done. So do you want to follow up on it with me releasing her that way, or do you have a different suggestion?
Well, so it's a warrant, right?
It's a warrant, it's a no bond warrant right now.
Right, I think.
And it's Osceola, so they would normally transfer her there first, take a few days,
Right,
and then.
I think you can ROR, you can ROR on the warrant and order her to do mental health PTR as she was previously ordered.
Fair enough, I'll do that.
All right, thank you.
I'll
sir.
ROR you. Ma'am, you need to call them tomorrow.
All right, no
Okay?
problem.
All right,
All
call
right.
them tomorrow and talk to them about it.
All right, God bless you.
Just ROR. Same mental health requirements. Sir, tell me your name.
Keith Thomas Watkins.
Mr. Watkins, you are here for open container. You have the right not to talk about this case. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer?
I didn't hear you what you said.
Because I talk too fast, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I said, don't talk about the case. Anything you say can be used against you.
No contest on it.
Do you want to take care of it today?
Yeah,
I'm going to release you if you don't take care of it today. Do you still want to take care of it today?
yeah.
All right. Raise your right hand and be sworn. Will you raise your right hand and be sworn?
Yeah.
Put the paper down there. You swear from the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
Put your hand down.
Keep
You can
watching.
put- Okay, you can put your hand down. Do you know you have a right to a jury trial in this open container?
Yeah,
Do you know at that trial you have the right to cross-examine and confront the witnesses against you?
yeah,
Do you know you have the right to bring your own witnesses, your own evidence, and you could testify, but you would not have to?
yeah,
Do you know you're giving up those rights? All that's left is sentencing.
yeah.
Has anyone forced you to enter this plea?
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone forced you to plea?
No,
Has anyone promised you anything?
no,
Are you under the influence of any drugs or intoxicants?
no.
Are you taking any medication affecting your thinking?
Psychiatric medication, Haldol and codeine.
That make your thinking worse?
Hmm?
Does that make your thinking worse or better?
No, it make it better.
Okay. Do you know if you're not a U.S. citizen, you will be deported?
Mm-hmm.
I'll find your plea is freely, voluntarily, intelligently made, find there's an adequate factual basis. State anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, anything further? Sir, anything you wish to say?
Hmm?
Do you want to tell me anything?
No contest on it.
Okay. Adjudicate you guilty. 1 day Orange County Jail, credit for 1 day time served, impose all the statutory required court cost fees, costs of prosecution. Those amounts of money all need to be paid. Defense, how long?
5 years, Judge.
To be paid within 5 years. This is the section that takes me the longest. Coming up. Oh my God, there's a lot of them. Jeez Louise. People should have went out on a nice pretty day yesterday instead of hanging out together. Hello, sir. Tell me your name.
Brandon Cross.
Mr. Cross, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I am finding probable cause. Prior record, please.
He has no prior convictions.
Mr. Cross, where do you, how long have you lived in Orlando?
Since I was born. I've been here since I was born, so
And about how long is that for me?
about 18 years.
Okay, and, you working?
No, ma'am, I'm in college for football,
Where in college?
Georgia Southern University.
Okay, when do you go back?
I was supposed to report back Tuesday for camp.
All right. I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance. No contact whatsoever with the victim in this case. And, make sure to stay in touch with your attorney, okay? That's
ma'am.
really important. Go talk to your coach about it too, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you, sir. Sir, tell me your name.
Jim Lon Dillon.
Mr. Dillon, you're here for aggravated battery and battery. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
No, ma'am.
What are you gonna do instead?
Public defender.
Appoint the public defender's office. They're lawyers. Really good ones. I'm just reviewing the affidavit. Just give me one moment.
Yes,
I am
ma'am.
finding probable cause and prior record.
He has no prior history. He does qualify for PTR.
And, how long have you lived here?
I lived here till I was 18, then I went off to school, and then I.
How old are you now?
25.
Okay. And, where are you currently working?
Nike on Orlando Violin
How long have you worked there?
for about 2 months now.
What kind of family do you have here?
What kind of family? Like,
You have
my
family?
my mom, my sisters, my cousins, everybody.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance. I appointed the public defender's office. Make sure to get in touch with them, so that you can keep in touch with your court date, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
No contact whatsoever with the victim in this case. Social media, on the phone, text, telling anyone else to do any of those things, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Sir, tell me your name.
Alice Jones.
Mr. Jones, you are here for burglary of a dwelling, violation of condition of pretrial release, and criminal mischief. You have a right not to talk about what they said happened here. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Reviewing the affidavit, just give me one moment. I am finding probable cause. On CF 1910737, on that case, there's a violation of condition of pretrial release. I'm gonna set it as a no bond on that count. On the burglary of a dwelling, set it in the amount of $5,000. On the criminal mischief, set it in the amount of $100. On the CF 197875, which is alleged to also be a burglary of an occupied dwelling that he's out of custody on, I'm gonna revoke that bond at this time. Thank you, sir. Your attorney will come talk to you. Sir, what's your name?
Stephen Lutz.
Mr. Lutz, you are here for initial appearance for false imprisonment and battery. Ma'am, will you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, tell me your name.
Christina Lee Arroyo.
Ms. Arroyo, what did you want to tell me here today?
Nothing really. I mean, everything's fine. This has never happened before.
Are you scared of him?
No.
Do you want to have contact with him?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Say any questions?
No, Your Honor.
And, sir, you are here for initial appearance. You have the right not to talk about this. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer?
If I need one, yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Let me just review over this pretty quickly. And finding probable cause. And prior record, please.
He has 4 felony convictions, 4 misdemeanors, 1 FTA. He
What are-
does qualify for PTR.
Okay, thank you. What are the 4 felonies, do you know?
The convictions I have as a battery DV, operating a motor vehicle without valid DL, possession of cocaine, 2 possession of drug paraphernalias, and a retail theft coordinating.
All right, thank you. I will set bond in the amount of $1,000 and with the requirement of PTR, so check in with them weekly. They'll come talk to you before you're released today.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So you want weekly supervision?
Yes, please.
So it's $1,000 each count?
And on count 2, $100.
So $1,000, 100 plus pre-trial release? Is that plus pre-trial?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge. It's okay for me to have contact. You didn't say anything about no contact, no?
It's okay for me to have contact.
But Mr. Jones, the violation of pre-release, you want him to have still contact?
No contact.
Okay, so Mr. Jones, he gone, he needs to sign a new, no contact. Oh, Jones?
That's the only podium. Is that it?
No, that's the one, the violation of, oh,
That is it.
here it is.
Tell me your name.
Yes, my name is Wilfred Sois.
And, sir, you are here for initial appearance for the charge of aggravated assault with a firearm. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer? Did I speak way too fast?
But I hear
Yes.
you. I hear you.
Okay. Do you want a lawyer?
Did I have to pay for a
No.
law? No. Yes.
Okay. Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Give me just one moment, if you would. Defense? Anything? Any argument?
I mean, I think it's kind of borderline, but
State, I'm looking for a threat. Do you have one?
He was yelling, he said he is going to kill us all with a firearm
Okay.
in his possession.
All right, I'm fine, probable cause. Ma'am? Yes. Will you raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Of course.
Okay, you can put your hand down and then tell me your name.
My name is Gyola.
And what do you want to tell me today?
Nothing much to say. I just can say he's a good husband, good father, Christian man. I don't know why he's here for. He just called police by mistake. He's the one who called, not me.
Do you want to have contact with him?
Of course, yes.
Are you scared of him?
No.
Okay. State, any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
Prior record, please.
He has no prior history.
Sir, how long have you lived in Orlando?
Since 1994.
And are you currently working?
No, right now. I don't have a job right now.
All right. And what family do you have here?
Excuse me?
What family do you have here?
Yes, I have family in Orlando.
All right. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. I've already appointed the public defender's office, and I'm not ordering anything as to contact.
Thank you.
Thank you. Get in touch with your attorney. Thank you, ma'am. Leroy Wilson. Ma'am, will you raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Tell me who you are.
Emmanuel Charles.
And what did you want to tell me here today?
Well, let's see that we fight yesterday and we were on the influence of the alcohol, so we went a little bit far, and then while we were fighting, he told me just call the police, so I called the police, and here we are today. So I believe I'm not scared of him, and I'm probably gonna anyway drop the charges, and I think we shouldn't be here right now at all, but marital relationship are sometimes complicated, so here we are.
And are you scared of him?
No.
And you want to have contact with him?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sir, you are here for initial appearance for the charge of battery one prior. You have a right not to talk about the case. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Prior record, please.
He has 3 felony convictions, 11 misdemeanors, 10 unknowns.
The felonies are?
I don't have the felonies separated, but he is a resisting without violence, drug equipment, false ID given to Leo, 2 municipal ordinances, cannabis possession, drug possession, liquor selling, loitering, trespass, disorderly conduct.
Okay. Sir, how long have you lived in Orlando?
3 months.
And where before then?
Panama City, went through the hurricane.
Are you working?
Not at the moment, ma'am.
Who's your family that lives here?
Just my wife.
Set bond in the amount of $1,000. Will that work? Can you bond out on 1,000?
I don't know how much 1,000 to be.
Usually around 100 with the bondsman.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm worried about your ties to the area. That's why. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
That way you have that tie with the bondsman, and also again you have the public defender's office. So make sure to get in touch with them. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Ma'am, tell me your name.
Carrie Bell.
Ms. Bell, you are here for initial appearance for the charge of battery. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
No. No, ma'am.
Why not? Hello.
Hello.
Will you raise your right hand to be sworn? Swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me your name.
Daniel Bell.
And what did you want to tell me today?
I'd like to drop charges against Carrie Bell.
Okay. Are you scared of her?
No, ma'am.
Do you want to have contact with her?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, it's up to the state whether or not they file charges, so I'm not going to do anything with that today.
Okay.
But the other information for the bond is very helpful.
Okay.
Thank you. And I have reviewed the affidavit. I am finding probable cause. Why don't you want a lawyer? Because you've never done this before and you think you don't need it? Okay.
Yeah.
How about we appoint the public defender's office?
Okay.
All right, appoint the public defender's office to represent you. No prior records, PTR?
No, Your Honor.
And how long have you lived in Orlando?
7 years.
And are you currently working?
I am.
And how long have you worked there?
My current job, 3 months.
And family here?
Yes.
Little one, I take it?
Yes.
I imagine you're staying around here then, huh? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Then I'll release you on your own recognizance. Make sure to get in touch with your attorney, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am, tell me your name.
Marvina Brown Ennis.
Ma'am, you are here for battery. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I have reviewed the affidavit. I am finding probable cause. Prior record, please.
0 felony convictions, 5 misdemeanors, convictions for criminal mischief, multiple VOP, and disorderly intox.
Any batteries?
Arrest for ag assault, ag battery DV.
All right, thank you. Ma'am, where are you currently living?
I'm currently at a hotel.
All right, and are you working at all?
Yes, I do, and my money goes towards paying for my hotel room.
And how long have you worked where you're working?
Since January, I've been working for the labor pool, but before that, I was working for Dollar Tree.
Okay. Did you, PTR, did you say no failures to appear?
No failure to appear.
All right, I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance. Ma'am, get in touch with your attorney, okay? It's hard when you don't have a really current address, so make sure you just stay right in touch with them, okay? And no contact with the victim in this case, all right? I know that's
Yes,
your
ma'am.
mama, but you may not have any contact until it all works out, okay?
Thank
All
you,
right.
Jesus.
Thank you. Ma'am, tell me your name.
Shahonda Farley.
You are here for initial appearance for the charge of battery. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I am finding probable cause. Prior record, please.
No criminal history.
Ma'am, how long have you lived in this area?
A year and a half. A year and 4 months.
And where'd you live before that?
On Alafaya for a year.
Okay, that's also the area. How long
Yes.
have you lived, like, in this central
In-
Florida area?
4 years. This year makes 4 years.
Okay. Are you working?
Yes.
And how long have you worked there?
This current job for a year.
And what family do you have in this area?
No family.
Your sister, right?
Yeah, she just came here from New Jersey.
Okay. Then, where's your family?
In New Jersey.
All right. I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance. I appointed the public defender's office. Make sure to keep in touch with them, okay?
Thank you.
So that you get your court dates.
Okay.
And ma'am, you may not have any contact whatsoever with your victim at this, with your sister at this point with the victim, okay? That's tricky when it's family. You may not have contact face-to-face, text, social media, talking to other family members where they might interpret that you wanted them to tell them something. Just don't talk to them about her, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Sir, tell me your name.
Verlon Gillis.
Sir, you are here for initial appearance for the charge of assault. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer appointed?
Yes, ma'am.
Make a finding of probable cause. Prior record?
2 misdemeanor Florida convictions, 2 FTAs. Convictions were for violation of a DV injunction, an unlicensed electric weapon, and out-of-state convictions for ag assault and criminal trespass.
Thank you. Ma'am, will you raise your right hand and be sworn? You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Tell me who you are.
Shelly Ann Gotras. I'm the
And-
significant other.
And what did you want to tell me today?
I feel like he really needs some mental health help. I am afraid of him. I do not want to have contact with him going further. So I just really feel like he just needs to get some help.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And, my memory not long enough, not good enough. Will you tell me one more time prior
Oh,
record?
Sure, Your Honor. 2 misdemeanor convictions, 2 failure to appears, Florida convictions for violation of DV injunction and unlicensed electric weapon, and then out-of-state convictions for ag assault and crim trespass.
Thank you. Set bond in the amount of $1,000. No contact whatsoever with the victim in this case. That's face-to-face, social media, talking to other people about, to talk to her. You understand that?
How much is my bond now?
1,000?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Hello, ma'am, tell me your name.
Robin Hernandez.
Ms. Hernandez, you are here for the charge of battery. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
No, ma'am.
Why?
I can't afford it.
I'll appoint the public defender's office. It won't cost you anything up front.
Okay.
Okay, appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm finding probable cause. And prior record, please.
She's no Florida history, out-of-state convictions for retail theft, out-of-state arrest for trespass, battery, bodily harm, domestic battery, 2 of those, and violation of an order for protection.
How long have you lived in Orlando?
I just moved back in October.
And how long did you live here before?
Back when I was under the age of 21,
Okay.
and I just came back now.
What family do you have local?
My husband and his family. I don't have family out here.
Okay. Set bond in the amount of $1,000, no contact whatsoever with the victim in this case. That's face-to-face, that's text message, social media, talking to other people about having any contact, okay? You understand all that?
Huh?
Do you understand all that?
Yeah.
All right.
And she would
Good luck to you.
qualify for bond or PTR, Your Honor, if you want.
I'm sorry?
She would qualify for a bond or PTR, she just doesn't have an alt address. So she wouldn't qualify for straight
Then
PTR.
I'll set that bond or PTR if you do qualify with an alternative address. If you can come up with one, you might be able to be released that way too.
I have my mom's cousin lives in Winter Haven.
Well, you can talk to them. They'll come talk to you, okay?
Yeah, so you can do
All right.
PTR, you just have to find an alternate address. okay?
What's that?
Somewhere else to live.
What's PTR? Where else to live?
Yeah, they'll come talk to you.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, it's
Not
okay.
at all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am, tell me your name.
Alicia Hubert.
Ms. Hubert, you're here for initial appearance for the charge of battery. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer?
No.
Why not?
I can't afford a lawyer.
Okay, this one, I appoint him for free, so I'll appoint the public defender's office.
Okay, I'll take the public defender.
Okay, sir, will you raise your right hand to be sworn? Swear affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
You can put your hand out and tell me who you are.
My name is Christopher Ortiz.
And what do you want to tell me today?
I don't want to press charges against her. It was just a misunderstanding, and hopefully this won't happen again.
What's your relationship to her?
I'm her boyfriend.
Okay. Are you scared of her at all?
No, ma'am.
And you want to have contact?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Prior record, please.
2 misdemeanor convictions for resisting without violence and DUI, and she does qualify for PTR.
Ma'am, how long have you lived in the area?
About a year.
And where are you currently working?
I'm not working at the moment. I had a baby 3 months ago, but I can't go back to Duncan. I'm just still staying at home with the baby.
Okay. I'm going to order PTR with a substance abuse evaluation. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Is that a fair statement? Okay. That's within 90 days to have an evaluation, start any treatment within 120 days,
Okay.
and no other conditions. Okay? Good luck to you. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, tell me your name.
Talinda Johnson.
Ms. Johnson, you're here for initial appearance for the charge of battery. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer?
They gave me one.
Good. Then just officially, then we'll appoint the public defender's office. Give me one moment, let me review this, okay?
Okay.
All right, I am finding probable cause and prior record.
6 felony convictions, 21 misdemeanors, 1 failure to appear, 2 unknowns.
And ma'am, how long have you lived in Orlando?
All my life.
All right, and you got family here?
Yes, ma'am.
All your family?
Mm-hmm.
Big family?
Not really big.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And are you currently working?
I get disability.
Okay. Set bond, did you, she does not qualify, I take it, is that right?
She does qualify.
She does.
Okay,
does, Your Honor.
I'll do PTR
She would-
or $1,000. And make sure to get in touch with your lawyer.
She could qualify for straight, Your Honor. She actually does have an alternative address.
Okay, I said 1,000 or PTR, so whichever one works fast, quickest. Thank you. Ma'am, tell me your name.
Silvana Maria.
Miss Maria, you're here for initial appearance. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer appointed? If you can't afford one will be appointed for you for free. Do you want one?
Yes, please.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Sir, will you raise your right hand to be sworn? Swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You put your hand down. Tell me who you are.
My name is Andrew Campbell.
And Mr. Campbell, what'd you want to tell me today?
I don't want any charges filed against her. It was a misunderstanding that we could have handled without the police.
Okay.
She hasn't been in any trouble or anything like that before. She's a good girl, so I don't want to see her in this situation.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
And you're not scared of her?
Not at all.
All right. And state anything further?
No, Your Honor.
I can't control charges being filed, okay, but I appreciate the information. That's gonna be up to the state attorney's office. Prior record?
She has no prior history. She qualifies for PTR.
And ma'am, where do you live in Orlando? How long have you lived in the Orlando area?
I think about 15 years.
Okay, I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance. Stay in touch with your attorney, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Sir, tell me your name.
Don Matherin.
Sir, you are here for initial appearance for the charge of battery. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
I don't see a point in fighting against my daughter.
Well, how about we appoint a public defender, the public defender's office anyways? It's not really fighting against your daughter. You're charged with something that you could go to jail for a year with. So why don't we go ahead and appoint a public defender and then they can represent you.
Just sign right here.
All right, appoint the public defender's office. You need just one moment to view it.
No, I don't plan on doing that anyway.
Yeah, I'm just telling you.
How old's your daughter?
She's 18.
Find probable cause. The prior record, please.
2 felony convictions for throw, destruct, DV, bodily harm, property damage, and arson general. And he does qualify for PTR.
Judge, that prior is for throwing destructive device,
Yeah.
as opposed to DV like domestic
Oh,
violence.
device, yeah.
Is for what?
It's for throwing a destructive device.
What is that?
It's like shooting into a building, which means like, it could be throwing anything,
Just
basically.
wondering what the destructive device is.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it could be anything from like a carton of milk to a bomb.
All right, thank you. That, I'm gonna order PTR at this time. Because I don't have her here right now, I'm gonna order no contact with her. Does she live with you?
No.
All right, no contact with her until the case is resolved, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Or until a further order by the court.
Thank you.
Sir, tell me your name. Sir, you are here for initial appearance for the charge of battery. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm fighting probable cause. Prior record, please.
5 felony convictions, 3 misdemeanors, convictions for burglary of structure, burglary of dwelling, grand theft, criminal mischief, possession of cocaine, possession of cannabis.
I take it with that does not qualify, is that correct?
No, he does not.
Okay. Set bond in the amount of $1,000, no contact with the victim in this case. Get in touch with your lawyer.
Okay.
Thank you. Sir, tell me your name. Sir, you are here for initial appearance for the charge of battery. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer appointed?
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I am finding probable cause. Prior record, please.
1 felony conviction, 6 misdemeanors, conviction for attaching tag, license plate not assigned, battery DV, robbery, sudden snatching, Dwillis, and DUI. And he does qualify for PTR.
And I will order PTR. Then, no contact with the victim whatsoever. You understand that, sir?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Ma'am, tell me your name.
Brandy Williams.
Ms. Williams, you're here for initial appearance for the charge of battery. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm finding probable cause. Prior record, please.
She has no Florida history, out-of-state conviction for possession of marijuana, operating a vehicle while license suspended, operating a vehicle without license on person.
How long have you lived here?
I was just coming for the weekend to go to the park
Where do you live?
in Michigan.
How long have you lived wherever you're living in Michigan?
That's where I'm from all my life.
And are you working?
Yes.
How long have you worked there?
5 years. Well, at my current job, I've worked there 5 years.
Okay. I'm going to release you on your recognizance. Make sure to stay in touch with the public defender's office here, okay?
Yes, I definitely
Really
will.
important to do
I
because.
definitely will.
All right.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Oh, ma'am, and no contact with the victim.
No problem.
Okay, thank you. Sir, tell me your name.
Marquise Baker Hobson.
So you are here for possession of cannabis, initial appearance. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Find probable cause. Prior record.
1 misdemeanor conviction for possession of marijuana.
And set bond. Oh, how long have you lived here?
About 6 years.
Are you currently working?
Yes.
How long have you been working at that job?
About 3 months.
How long did you work at the job before that?
About 2 years.
Or at least on recognizance. Make sure to stay in touch with your attorney, okay? Because it's
Yes.
tricky when you're on your own.
Thank
And
you.
you've got a bondsman for your felony case, but not for this, okay? So make sure you stay in touch with your lawyer on your misdemeanor case so you know when your court dates are.
Thank you, ma'am.
And no action being taken on that open case.
No actions being taken. Sir, tell me your name.
Robert Boyd, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning. You're an extrovert, so you do social well. I always forget to say good morning. Sometimes I have to write it up on the bench to remind myself to say it. You are here for initial appearance for the charge of false verification ownership. It's 6 counts, and then dealing in stolen property appears to be 6 counts, and then a grand theft. That's why you're here. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer, and if you can't afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Give me a moment just to review it.
Okay.
There's already been probable cause, but let me just look at it for a moment.
Yeah, it's a misunderstanding.
Oh, hold on, don't talk about it.
Oh,
Prior
sorry.
record?
43 felony convictions, 8 misdemeanors, 1 FTA, 45 unknowns, 2 DOC.
Set bond on the grand theft in the amount, or excuse me, on the dealing in stolen property, which would be count 7, in the amount of $5,000, and the remaining counts, you gonna be able to bond out on that $5,000?
No, ma'am. I was actually wondering if I could.
Well, let me tell you what my concern is. I doubt I'll go lower than the 5,000. What I want to do is ROR you on the remaining counts, but I don't want you to not to get credit if you really are staying here. However, if I order a bond on each one of them, it's gonna be a lot of money to bond out of jail, so that's why I'm asking. But I'm unlikely to go under the 5,000.
Kinda, sorta. I'm actually, I'm in a treatment right now, and I'm
Okay.
on pretrial release from here for
Right.
the same exact thing. This is a warrant from what happened on the 3rd.
No, actually, you're on pretrial release for a whole different thing, too.
Well, they didn't charge me for these on the 3rd.
Right.
Because, like I said, it was a misunderstanding. So I'm in treatment in Boca, and I'm in contact with my pretrial release guy. And I was transferring to treatment here in Orlando, inpatient treatment. So I was wondering if I could be back on PTI ROR'd, because the treatment facility was actually waiting for me to show up there yesterday. I was discharged on the 25th or the 26th and coming on the 27th to Orlando in Orlando Health and Wellness PHP partial hospitalization program inpatient. Because they're one of the very few places that do dual diagnosis.
Right, I understand. I'm not gonna do that until you go in front of Judge Adams. So I'm back to my question of, would you like a $5,000 bond, or do you want a little bit of bond on everything so you're getting credit for it?
I guess a $5,000 bond.
Okay, I'll set a $5,000 bond on count 7, ROR you on all the remaining counts. And I'm quite sure that they'll get a note to your attorney right away, and so they can get you in front of Judge Adams quickly, okay? So if they can verify all that treatment, then maybe she can let you out on those cases too, okay? I'm not gonna take any action on the other case that you're out of custody on though.
What do you mean that I'm out of custody on?
All that possession, the resisting with violence, resisting without violence, I'm not gonna revoke that at this time, so you're still out on custody on those cases.
Okay, thank you.
Your attorney will come talk with you too,
Right.
okay?
This has to do with all that though, for
I know.
the same day.
I absolutely understand everything you're saying. I don't want to revoke your bond and put you on a no bond though. And right now, this is what I have in front of me. And again, it's something that Judge Adams may have signed, and I want you to go back in front of her instead to make that decision.
Okay.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, tell me your name. What's your name, sir?
Samuel David Caruso.
Mr. Caruso, you're here for the charge of aggravated battery of the motor vehicle. So you're here for initial appearance for the charge of aggravated battery with a motor vehicle?
Not guilty.
All right, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer appointed?
Had to get a public defender.
All right, appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Prior record, please.
7 felony convictions, 2 misdemeanor convictions, no failure to appear, 1 unknown, 1 DOC. He's currently on VFOSC probation.
Then keep bond set in the amount of $5,000, no contact with the victim in this case. Thank you. For the individuals that just walked in, you're each here for initial appearance. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one will be appointed to represent you. Sir, tell me your name.
Chamberlain.
Mr. Chamberlain, do you want a lawyer?
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Prior record, please.
10 felony convictions, 12 misdemeanor convictions, 1 failure to appear, 22 unknowns, 3 DOC.
Appoint the reviewing the affidavit, find probable cause, bond set in the amount of, I'll keep it at $3,500, no contact with the victim in the case.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Sir, tell me your name.
Dominic Divins.
Mr. Divins, you're here for initial appearance for possession of cannabis with intent to deliver over 20 grams and unlawful use of a two-way device. You have, do you want an attorney?
No,
Why not?
I don't know.
Sorry, tell me again.
I said I don't know.
Okay, how about we appoint the public defender's office to represent you on these felony charges? Okay, appoint the public defender's office. I'm reviewing the affidavit. I am finding probable cause. Prior record, please.
He has no criminal history. He does qualify for PTR.
Release on PTR. They'll come talk to you today, and you'll be released with some conditions, okay? All right, stay in touch with your attorney. Ma'am, tell me your name.
Leticia Figueroa.
Ma'am, you are here for initial appearance for the charge of driving with your license revoked. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you can't afford one will be appointed to represent you. Do you wish to have an attorney appointed?
Yes, ma'am.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Reviewing the affidavit. Find there is probable cause. Ma'am, I am going to revoke your bond and the other charge, that's 2019 CF 10052. That's in front of, that's in Division 11.
Yeah,
It's alleged to be exactly the same crime, so you'll need to go talk to that judge about it.
Okay.
And in this case, in the driving while driver's license been revoked, set bond in the amount of $1,000.
Ma'am, can I just?
You
my-
can.
The officer that arrested me
Uh-huh.
was just saying that he was going to try to see if they can release or drop the charges. I just got back. I know I taken my mom's in a hotel with me. She's schizophrenic.
Okay.
It's just me and her.
He didn't
I don't
drop-
drive.
Okay,
but
he's the one that filed the charge, I mean, he's the one that arrested you right now. I
Yeah.
don't have any notation of that. And again, my concern is the allegation is that you're having really bad luck right now, but you were out on one charge and it's the same charge. So I need you to go back and talk to the judge in Division 11.
Is there a way to send somebody to check on my mom? We stayed in a hotel. She's bipolar, schizophrenic, manic, and I take care of her. There's nobody else around, and just
I'm sure Mr. Clark's making a note right now that you need someone to come talk to you pretty quickly, okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, tell me your name.
Matthew Glover.
Mr. Glover, you are here for initial appearance for possession of cocaine, possession of methamphetamine, and possession of cannabis. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Yes, ma'am.
Find probable cause. PTR prior record.
8 felony convictions, 11 misdemeanor convictions, 7 FTAs, 2 unknowns, 1 DOC.
And bond set in the amount of $1,000, $150, and $100. Get in touch with your lawyer, okay?
Okay, so
There's
I have
another
a
case,
bond.
I believe, Your Honor.
Oh, and there's another case, sorry, there's a failure to appear. Sorry, I didn't see
Yeah, I
that one.
wanted to- I
That's a
wanted to
possession
talk
of a
ab-
controlled substance.
I wanted to talk about that because the failure to appear, I have a court date coming up for that on the 14th and the 22nd, and I got paperwork for that, so I don't understand how I can get a failure to appear. My pre-trial and my trial is
Hold
in
on one
August.
second, we're looking it up. Division 15.
Case management conference, which he was, pre-trial and trial was set for,
What
like
happened?
he said, August 14th. But he had a case management conference that he didn't show.
Don't worry about it.
So I don't know, on here, he was, let me see, did he get the notice? Did he was signed for it? Let's see, test. Case management.
Can I see the copy?
Oh, this was in the last trial.
Yeah, I can see where you got that, just can I see the copy of the next part? I'm gonna set bond in that case, the amount of $1,000. Sir, you were given notice of that court date you missed? It's just the next paragraph. You gotta read all of it, okay? Because
Okay.
there's more than just one
Right.
note.
I mean, I saw.
And
I saw the
more
other-
important, stay in touch with your lawyer,
Mhm.
okay? Because your lawyer would have told the judge that if that lawyer knew that's what you thought. So the lawyer didn't know something, which means you might not have been talking to him, okay? Get in touch with him. Thank you.
Thank you.
I wanna see how many you do. Sir, tell me your name.
Mark Jarrell.
And as to Gonzalez Rodriguez, Arnaldo, did he bond?
No, Your Honor, didn't bond.
He's medical, Your Honor.
It's what?
Medical?
Okay, we'll reset it. Mr. Jarrell, you're here for initial appearance for the charge of possession of heroin and possession of drug paraphernalia. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer appointed?
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Find probable cause. Prior record, please.
There's one felony conviction, one misdemeanor conviction, 3 failure to appears, convictions for possession of a controlled substance, and cannabis.
Does not qualify.
No, Your Honor.
Set bond amount of $1,000 on count 1, $100 on count 2. Thank you. Sir, tell me your name.
Ernest Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, you are here for initial appearance for the charge of trespass on a construction site. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
I just was coming from the bus station.
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it, trust me. It's charged as a felony, which is up to 5 years in prison, so don't talk about it, okay? How about we appoint an attorney? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And prior record, please.
3 felony convictions, 10 misdemeanor convictions, 4 failure to appears, 5 unknowns.
I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance. Mr. Johnson, can you make sure you stay in touch with your attorney?
Yes.
Okay, it's really important. I know when it's hard enough to figure out where you're gonna sleep that night, it makes it harder to do additional things like stay in touch with an attorney. You understand that?
Yeah.
But if you don't, they're gonna rearrest you, and then you're gonna be in until they can work out the case. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So it's super important you make best friends with downtown, okay?
Yes.
Go talk to your attorney. They'll probably get the case in about a week. All right?
All right.
All right, thank you. Sir, tell me your name.
Antoine Sean Love.
Uh-oh. My bad. Yeah, no, that's it. Robert Eugene Johnson.
Misbehavior.
Thank you. Reset. And Mr. Love, you are here for initial appearance for the charge of burglary, grand theft, criminal mischief, 2 counts. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer if you can't afford one. One will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Appoint the public defender's office. I'm finding probable cause. Prior record, please.
6 felony convictions, 3 misdemeanor convictions, 3 failure to appears, 37 unknowns, 2 DOC.
Set bond in count 1, the amount of $1,000. $100 on the remaining 3 counts.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Sir, tell me your name.
Mitchell.
Mr. Mitchell, you're here for initial appearance for the charge of burglary of a dwelling. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes, I would like one.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm finding probable cause. Prior record, please.
It's 2 felony convictions, 2 misdemeanor convictions for Dwellis, burglary of dwelling, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of controlled substance.
Set bond in the amount of $5,000. Get in touch with your attorney.
Yeah, he has an out-on-bond case, Your Honor.
This is the add-on bond? add-on bond, sorry, I heard add-on bond. No, you're fine, I just got me confused for a second. I'm not gonna take any action, Judge LeBlanc can if he wants. Thank you. Hello, sir.
Your Honor.
Tell me your name.
George Nichols.
Mr. Nichols, you're here for initial appearance.
Yes, ma'am.
You're here for the cases of invasion by false impersonation, which is the most interesting case of the day. Then two other charges, burglary of a structure and petty theft. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
No.
She just appointed us.
Oh, okay.
She was just,
Okay.
Prior record, please.
He's no Florida history, an out-of-state conviction for receiving stolen property.
Sir, how long have you lived in Florida?
I don't.
All right, I'm gonna keep bonds as set then. Make sure to get in touch with your attorney. Well, actually, I'm gonna, do the burglary of a structure in the amount of $3,000, the remaining 2 counts, $100.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Stay in touch with your attorney.
Will do.
Sir, tell me your name.
Anthony Shaw.
Mr. Shaw, you're here for a possession of controlled substance. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. Do you want one?
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Public defenders.
And finding probable cause. Prior record?
What?
just asking.
Three felony convictions, 3 misdemeanor convictions, convictions for petty theft, burglary, grand theft, retail theft, and possession of controlled substance.
And does not qualify, correct?
No, Your Honor.
Bond set an amount of $1,000. Get in touch with your attorney, okay?
Is there any way I could get a ROR? Because I don't have anybody here to bond me out.
Well, my problem is that actually makes it worse for me because I don't know where your
I
contact.
won't run. I'm on probation, so
You're on probation here?
Yes.
For what?
for the same thing. I was actually in the wrong car at the wrong
No,
time.
no, don't talk about it. Let me just review it.
You gonna be my program?
not unless you kill somebody,
No,
so hopefully not.
I don't deal with that.
I'm gonna ROR you. Your wrong place at wrong time looks really bad when your probation paperwork's right next to it.
Yeah, I know. And
Right, no, I don't want you talking about it. I want to tell you something, which is, if you're out on your own recognizance and you have probation violations, they can keep getting worse and your sentence can get higher and higher. So your bad luck of being in the wrong place, you need to figure out a way to be in the right place, okay?
I also was gonna ask you.
Nothing else. All right.
Yes.
Thank you. Get in touch with your attorney. Sir, tell me your name.
Tad Sharon.
Mr. Sharon, you are here for trespass on a construction site and soliciting without a permit. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. And you have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes, I do.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Prior record, please.
10 misdemeanor convictions, drug paraphernalia, panhandling, petty theft, trespass.
Any failures to appear?
No.
I'm going to release you on your own recognizance on both counts. I am finding probable cause. Make sure to get in touch with your attorney, okay? It's complicated when it's already complicated to figure out where
I
you're
sure
sleeping,
will.
okay? Make sure to stay in touch with them. Sir, tell me your name.
Sylvester Le Petit. He at the very end, he was supposed to be one of the Creole.
Sylvester Le Petit.
But he speak English.
Okay.
He should be the last king.
Give me just one moment, sir. Sir, you are here for initial appearance for the charge of driving with your license suspended. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say to anyone other than your attorney can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer appointed?
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I am finding probable cause. Prior record, please.
one misdemeanor conviction for trespass.
And sir, where are you currently living, in Orlando?
No, I used to believe in Orlando. I moved Texas. Right now, I'm good back in Orlando again.
And for how long?
For whatever.
How long have you been back here?
Been a week.
I'm gonna set bond in the amount of $1,000. Get in touch with your attorney.
Okay.
Thank you. Both of you who just walked in, you're here for initial appearance. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one will be appointed to represent you. Ma'am, tell me your name.
Tanya Vick.
Ms. Vick, do you want a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm reviewing the affidavit, finding probable cause. Prior record, please.
5 felony convictions, 7 misdemeanors, 2 failure to appears, 8 unknowns.
Set bond in the amount of $1,000, count 1, $100, count 2. Get in touch with your attorney, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. The 3 individuals that walked in, you're here for initial appearance. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one will be appointed to represent you. Sir, tell me your name.
Otis Mitchell.
Thank you. How about Jesus Candelaria Ventura? Is that what you just said? No.
Do you have the booking number for him, Your Honor?
I will in a moment. 190-22524.
They bonded.
All right, thank you. Bonded. Tell me your name one more time.
Otis Mitchell.
Give me a second then. Thomas Spica. Thank you. Mr. Mitchell, you are here for initial appearance. Would you like to have a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And you're here for driving while driver's license has been revoked. Give me a moment. Reviewing it. Find probable cause. Prior record, please.
No Florida history, out-of-state convictions for Dwellis, ag assault, possession of controlled substance, and assault, as well as multiple arrests.
Like it's an endorsement, Judge, like he
Yeah.
had bonded out.
Yeah, I guess he was never IA'd.
He was never IA, okay.
Okay.
He's also here on a felony that was already IA'd.
He's here on a felony what?
He's on, this is an add-on charge. He's also here on a felony.
Set bond in the amount of $500. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, is bond set on the face sheet? It has all these other charges. Has bond already been set on all those?
Yeah, he was already IA'd on those.
Yes,
Already
he has all
bonded.
these felony charges. It's just an extra one that the bondsman came off from.
On the driving on the suspended charge. Yeah, did they endorse that one? Is that what happened?
This
They
that
came
he's
off
on
from this
now,
one.
Yeah, the traffic one.
Okay. The bondsman came off of it. So you just have to post it again. You still got bond.
So you're here for initial appearance for the charge of assault. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Find probable cause. Prior record.
He has 2 felony convictions, 1 failure to appear. Convictions are for resisting officer with violence. And he's also on PTI for a possession of cocaine case.
Bond set at $250. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So your bond is open?
Yeah.
And he has a hold for that
And-
PTI case. Is there any action? No action.
No contact with the victim in the cases?
No action on that.
No action on the
No.
case, okay.
Sir, tell me your name.
Edwin Denton.
Mr. Denton, you're here for initial appearance for possession of drug paraphernalia. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Prior record, please.
He has no convictions, 4 failure to appear, 7 unknowns, out-of-state convictions for theft, liquor sales, armed robbery, and burglary.
Bond in the amount of $250. Thank you, sir.
excuse me, Your Honor. Is there a way I can get a ROR bond? Because I was supposed to get housing today. Cause
You can release you on your own recognizance.
yes, ma'am, I've
Get in
been
touch with
homeless
your
for like
attorney.
3 years.
Get in touch with your attorney, okay? Make sure you show up, because the reason why I didn't give you ROR in the first place is you failed to appear a lot. So make sure that you show up, okay?
Yes, ma'am,
All
I
right, they
will.
probably won't give you another chance.
Ma'am.
All right.
Thank you.
Ma'am, tell me your name.
Tamara K. Griffin. Tamara Griffin.
Ma'am, you are here for initial appearance for the charge of possession of drug paraphernalia. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes, I need I applied for a public defender.
Okay. Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I have reviewed the affidavit. I am finding probable cause. You gonna be able to bond out on $250?
No, ma'am, I'm homeless. I have no,
Prior record?
2 felony convictions, 6 misdemeanors, 1 failure to appear, 6 unknowns, and she's out on bond on 2 cases.
I'm not on bond.
Out on ROR.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm-
They just mean you have pending cases. I see them here. You do have pending cases. You need to get in touch with your attorney on it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna keep bond at the moment set at $500. You'll need to go in front of that judge. The other judges may revoke it, their bond, but I'm not certain. You, talk to your attorney though, okay?
Well, I'm not out on bond though, Your Honor.
That's what concerns me, that you don't think so, because I think there's 2 separate charges against you right now. I think this is the 3rd charge that's pending against you.
come talk to you.
So you're taking no action on it?
Taking no action. Sir, tell me your name.
Sean Henry.
Mr. Henry, you're here for charge of possession of drug paraphernalia. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford an attorney, attorney will be appointed to represent you. I have reviewed the affidavit. I am finding probable cause. Do you want a lawyer?
I don't know if I need one. I don't know.
Let's
I
appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Yeah.
And, how long have you lived in Orlando?
2 years.
Prior record?
1 misdemeanor conviction for possession of marijuana.
And, with that, are you currently working?
Not right now. I was in a program.
Okay, I'm gonna release on known recognizance. Get in
Gonna
touch
do
with your
what?
attorney, okay? I'm gonna release you with your agreement to come back to court and stay in touch with your attorney, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you.
So, which means what that means?
You're gonna get out today.
Okay.
Go.
Ma'am, tell me your name.
Suzanne Highland.
Ma'am, you are here for initial appearance for the charge of possession of drug paraphernalia. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford an attorney, attorney will be appointed to represent you. I am finding probable cause.
Judge, would you consider accepting a plea on this case? Because I see she has a Seminole County hold, and she has a ton of priors.
Okay. Ma'am, you want to enter a plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Will you raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear affirm the testimony right to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Do you understand you have a right to a jury trial in this case to determine whether the state can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you possess this drug paraphernalia?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know at that trial you have the right to cross-examine, confront the witness against you, and contest the evidence against you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know you have the right to bring your own witnesses, your own evidence, and you could testify that you wouldn't have to?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know you're giving up those rights? All that's left is this court to sentence you.
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone forced you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or intoxicants?
No, ma'am.
Are you taking any medication affecting your thinking?
No, ma'am.
2 really important questions now, okay? These are my 2 important ones. You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, you'll be deported?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're on probation anywhere, this could be a violation of that probation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I will find your plea freely, voluntarily, intelligently made. Reviewing the affidavit, I will find there's not adequate factual basis. State argument, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Ma'am, anything you want to tell me?
No, ma'am.
Then in this case, I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day Orange County Jail, credit for 1 day time served, impose all the statutory required court costs, fees, cost of prosecution, just cost of prosecution. Those amounts of money all need to be paid. How long do you need to pay it?
At least 60 days.
it's more, it's not a cheap amount and you're gonna be in custody.
Oh, okay.
So tell me how many years you need to pay it.
Oh, at least a year or two.
Okay, paid within 2 years. 30 days in which to appeal the judgment and sentence. If you can't afford an attorney, attorney will be appointed to represent you. Any appeal must be in writing though. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Sir, tell me your name.
Caleb Robertson.
Mr. Robertson, you're here for initial appearance for the charge of petty theft. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Tell me about this job you have. Do you make $800 a week?
Really, I was at the moment making that and more than that actually, but
Okay.
right now I'm not working at the moment, kind of.
Okay.
So I'm not.
You don't have that job anymore?
No, I don't.
What? When did you stop having that job?
Then I got laid off pretty much. I'm out of work right now.
Okay, when did that happen?
Well, back around probably almost about a month now. About a
Okay,
month
and
a half.
now you have no income?
Yeah.
All right,
Yes,
I'll
ma'am.
appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Yep.
Reviewing the affidavit. Find probable cause. And prior record, please.
2 felony convictions, 2 misdemeanor convictions, 2 failure to appears, convictions for possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, trespassing, and possession of oxycodone.
Sir, where are you living right now?
With my parents currently at the moment.
And how long have you lived there?
At the location right now, probably maybe about a few months now.
And are you working? You're not at all, right?
Not at the moment, no, ma'am.
All right, keep on set at $250. Thank you, sir. For the 3 of you that just walked in, you're here for initial appearance. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. If you can't afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you. Sir, tell me your name.
Terrell.
Last name?
Terrell, Eddie Terrell.
Mr. Terrell, you're here for initial appearance
Yes.
on charge of exposure and disorderly conduct. Do you wish to have an attorney appointed?
I suppose so.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And finding probable cause. Set bond in the amount of $500 on count 1, ROR on count 2. Do you want that defense? Would you rather have a bond on count 2? It looks like it's the same offense. It's just charged twice.
Yeah, ROR, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
He's got a ball.
Sir, tell me your name. No, sorry, thank you. Mr. Thomas? All right. Charged with possession of cannabis and resisting without violence. Do you want an attorney appointed?
Yes, a public defender.
Appoint the public defender's office.
Yes, ma'am.
Give me a second. Sir, where are you currently living?
1824 Patterson Avenue,
How long you lived there?
all my life.
And currently working?
Here and there, I change tires on cars.
PTR, any failures to appear?
1 failure to appear. And he's out on bond on a case.
I'm gonna release unknown recognizance. Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
you're having terrible luck. Hear me out, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with something and you're out on bond on it, and then you get charged with something else, it's the exact same charge, well, a little bit less serious of that same charge.
Yes, ma'am.
All right?
Yes, ma'am.
I need you to find a safe place to be, where you're not getting any more charges until you can deal with the 2 you have.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Stay in touch with your attorney.
No action on that
No
item.
action.
That was Tom, yeah.
Hello, sir, tell me your name.
Eric Turk.
Sir, you have the right to attorney. Do you want one?
Public defender, yes.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Are you wanting to resolve it, or do you want me to release you to come back?
Either way.
Resolve it, or you can have a case pending and just get out of jail and not have to be.
What do you recommend? Or you either public defender?
If you want to fight it, you can fight it, or if you want to just create and get time served, she'll do that for you.
I'm gonna release on your own recognizance.
What would be you? Huh?
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance. Make sure to get in touch with your attorney, okay? Same thing I just told the individual before. You're being charged with things again and again that look the same. That's either really terrible luck or you're not making good decisions. Either way,
Yeah.
you need to be someplace else, okay?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, go a while, resolve these cases before you're charged with anything else. Okay?
She's saying stay out of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sir, that other case that you're out on bond, you have a court date for July 31st. Make sure to be there, okay?
Yeah, this Wednesday.
Perfect.
At 1 o'clock, I think, right?
It's in the court, yep, at 1 o'clock.
In Ocoee at 1 o'clock. Good job.
Oh, Coey.
I think so.
No, it's here.
It's the court, yeah.
It says Ocoee.
The courthouse in the court.
The courthouse in Ocoee?
Here.
It's not here, I know that. It's not here.
What's in Coey?
That's what the clerk's telling me, yes. Okay, get in touch with your attorney, okay?
Yeah, I thought it was here.
Good luck on that one. Sir, tell me your name.
Taylor Whitlock, ma'am.
Sir Whitlock, what happened to your head?
I got assaulted a couple days, about 3-4 days ago.
You got what?
Assaulted.
By whom?
I don't know. They had came from behind me and hit me and whatnot.
State, do you see this case? Will the attorneys approach?
I'm sorry.
I'm finding probable cause. Do you want an attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And Mr. Clark, perhaps you could follow up since he's your client also.
Yes, ma'am.
The PTR prior record?
He has 9 felony convictions, 2 misdemeanors, no failure to appears, 3 unknowns, 1 DOC, and he's out on PTR on an open case.
On this case then, keep bonding amount of $250. On the PTR, you're gonna get violated in a second and a half, and they're gonna end up rearresting you on it. I'm gonna let Judge LeBlanc look at it and determine that they're gonna end up filing something next week, I'm sure.
I know I was supposed to go on Thursday.
Yeah, you'll need to talk to them, okay?
Yeah, I have the case number and stuff.
All right, thank you, good luck to you. I did. Ma'am, tell me your name.
Krista Williamson.
You are here for initial appearance for the charge of possession of drug paraphernalia. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. Do you want one?
No, ma'am.
Did you say yes?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
Because I know I'm guilty.
Because what?
I'm guilty.
Are you wanting to take care of it? You want to go ahead and plead?
I'm guilty of it. I had it. I might as well, yeah.
Yes? All right. Raise your right hand to be sworn. You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Put your hand down. Tell me your full name.
Krista Carol Williamson.
Do you understand you have a right to a jury trial where the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you committed this offense? Do you know that?
What does that mean?
Hold on. How many what's the prior record?
2 felony convictions, 1 misdemeanor
Okay.
conviction.
That's enough. Thank you. Do you know you have a right to a jury trial? Do you understand you have that right for a jury trial?
I don't understand any of it.
Okay, then I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance to come back. Thank you. Get in touch with your attorney. I don't want to take a plea if you're not understanding it, just because the rest of what you said, you just need to talk to your attorney, okay?
Okay, who's that, you?
It'll be someone different, just you'll need to call the public defender's office. Ma'am, tell me your name.
Carolyn Woodson.
Do you want an attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to a lawyer. And I appointed it. Reviewing the affidavit, finding probable cause. Prior record, please.
3 felony convictions, 12 misdemeanor convictions, 30 unknowns, 1 DOC.
Set bonding the amount of $500. Thank you, ma'am. And ma'am, tell me your name.
Brady Harris.
Ms. Harris, you are here for initial appearance for an out-of-county warrant. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about that case, that's a burglary, carjacking, kidnapping, can be used against you. That's if you talk to anyone other than your attorney. You understand that? All right. Seeing the head shake, yes. You also have a right to a lawyer, but they'll determine that when you get to the county where you're at. You're going to be transported there. That's Polk County. And they'll determine, did you say Brevard?
Brevard County?
Brevard County,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
No, you're fine. So in Brevard County, they'll determine whether you qualify for an attorney.
What about for a bond?
There's, the bond is, there's no bond on
No,
it.
I'm saying, would they be able to determine that? Because
No.
there's no new charges. This is violation of probation.
You gotta go back to Brevard.
That's what I'm saying, but Brevard County would be able to determine me not having a bond.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Sir, tell me your name.
Onyx Vargas.
Do we know what happened with Taylor? Thank you, reset it. Mr. Vargas, you are here for a warrant from Seminole County. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to a lawyer. They'll determine that once you get to Seminole County. All right? You'll
How
be
long do they have?
72 hours-ish,
Is it no bond warrant, Judge?
and it's no bond.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, I'm sorry, that Ed Taylor, he actually bonded, not behavior, he bonded out.
All right, thank you. Sir, tell me your name.
Lucas Fernandez.
We saw him yesterday, Your Honor. It's just that an ICE detainer was added, so he just needs to be informed at immigration.
Okay. There's an immigration hold. Okay? That's the only reason you're back here today, is so you can hear that from me. That really doesn't have to be done. To tell them that? Let me see. Wow. Sir, tell me your name.
David Merritt.
Say it one more time.
David Merritt.
And what happened to Jones? Merritt?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you are Mr. Merritt. Okay, Mr. Merritt, you're here for initial appearance on the charge of trespass, loitering, and prowling, and providing a false identification to police officers. Are you making $84,000 a year?
No, ma'am. 8.
$8,000 a year?
Yes, ma'am.
That changes so much. Do you want a lawyer?
Ma'am.
Do you want a lawyer?
No, ma'am.
Why? What are you gonna do?
I was gonna plead out today.
You got a prior record?
No, not for none of this stuff.
He's on,
He-
looks like he's
he's
on
on-
probation.
I am
Yeah,
on
he's on
I'm on
probation.
probation.
He's
Not,
got-
I don't have no prior record of trespassing.
You can't plead since you're on probation.
You don't wanna play to this. What are you on probation for?
I was on probation for burglary, but it happened when I was
Burglary of a house or a car?
a house.
Yeah, you could go to prison for up to 15 years on that if you pleaded this today. Would you like to do that? No. You understand?
It's from Florida. It's from Jacksonville, Florida.
Uh-huh. Seriously, you can go to prison for 15 years, and all they'll have to do is show that you pled here.
Oh wow.
Right. So you do not want to plead to this. You want a lawyer?
Yes.
All right, I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm going to set bond, since you've got that other thing going on too. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500 on the trespass and $100 on the other two cases. Get in touch with your attorney, let them see what they can do to work that out.
So I could bond out.
Yep.
Yep, you could. Theoretically. Sir, tell me your name.
Jody Cataract.
Mr. Cataract. Any prior record? PPR?
5 felony convictions, 12 misdemeanors.
Do you want to take care of this today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, raise your right hand to be sworn. Will you
Ma'am?
raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me your full name and you can put your hand down.
Jody Francis Cataract.
Do you understand you have a right to a jury trial in this disorderly conduct, and you have the right at that trial for the state to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes,
Do you know at that trial you have the right to cross-examine, confront the witness against you, contest the evidence against you, bring your own witnesses, bring your own evidence, and you could testify, but you wouldn't have to?
I know, ma'am.
Do you know you're giving up those rights? All that's left is this court to sentence you.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know the maximum is 60 days?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone forced you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything?
No.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or intoxicants?
No, ma'am.
Are you taking any medication affecting your thinking?
ma'am.
Do you know if you're not a U.S. citizen, you'll be deported?
Yes, ma'am.
You know you're not on probation for anything, right?
No, ma'am.
All right, then I will find your plea is freely, voluntarily, intelligently made, find there's an adequate factual basis. State, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, anything further?
No, ma'am.
Then I will, sir, anything you want to tell me?
No, ma'am.
Adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to a day Orange County Jail, credit for a daytime served, impose all the statutory required court cost fees, cost of prosecution, cost of defense. All that amount has to be paid. How much do you want, how long do you need to pay it?
Ma'am, I'm gonna need some time because I'm still trying to pay off my driver's license.
Tell me how long. You tell me an amount and I'll order it.
A year?
You want more?
Yeah. as
Tell me
much-
how long.
5 years.
To be paid within 5 years. So you have
All right.
30 days in which to appeal the judgment and sentence. If you can't afford an attorney will be appointed to represent you. Any appeal must be in writing.
Thank you
Good luck
kindly.
to you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, tell me your name.
Mark Allen Davis?
Mr. Davis, you want to handle this today too?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're not on probation for anything?
No, ma'am.
And you're a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, raise your right hand to be sworn. Swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but truth?
Yes.
Do you know, you put your hand down, do you know you have a right to a jury trial where the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you solicited money without a permit?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you still get a permit for this, Mr. Clark?
Yeah, I think you do.
You can go get a permit? Do you know?
I mean, I don't think they'd give it to any of the folks they keep arresting for it, but it is possible to get a permit.
You can get a permit?
Yeah,
Do you know if it costs money?
I don't know.
Just curious.
I know they shouldn't be arresting people for these anymore. The case law is pretty clear on municipal ordinances aren't arrestable, but they have 5 or 6 every day.
Right, that is true. When did that case law change? Was that like a year ago?
No, it's actually pretty old. Just, I guess, there was a new case that talked about it.
Yeah.
But the case that case is relying on is like 10 years old.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Wow, I mean, obviously I don't do municipal ordinances usually,
Me
but,
neither.
but I saw that case and
Yes, ma'am.
hadn't known that. So, do you know at that trial, you'd have the right to cross-examine, confront the witnesses against you and contest the evidence against you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know you have the right to bring your own witnesses, your own evidence, and you could testify, but you would not have to?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know you're giving up all those rights? All that's left is sentencing.
Yes, I do.
Has anyone forced you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or intoxicants?
No.
Taking any medication affecting your thinking?
No, ma'am.
All right. And I will find your plea is freely, voluntarily, intelligently made. I have reviewed the affidavit. And with that, anything else you want to tell me?
No, ma'am.
State anything?
No, Your Honor.
then in this case, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day Orange County Jail, credit for 1 day time served, impose all the statutory required court cost fees, cost of prosecution, thank you, cost of prosecution. Those amounts of money all have to be paid by statute. How long do you need to pay it?
Might take a couple years, ma'am.
Yeah, how many?
2 years should.
You think you got it all paid in 2 years?
I can do my best.
No, tell me when you're sure you're gonna have it all paid off. So you don't get arrested for it.
5 years, ma'am.
All right, to be paid within 5 years. You have 30 days in which to appeal the judgment and sentence. If you can't afford an attorney, attorney will be appointed to represent you. Any appeal must be in writing, though. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you tell me your name?
Yolanda.
And you're a Creole interpreter, is that right?
Yes, yes, I am.
And what state?
Florida.
Okay, good. And will you raise your right hand to be sworn?
Yes.
Swear affirm to translate from Haitian Creole to English, from English to Haitian Creole, and the testimony given today.
Yes.
State your name and ID number, please.
Yolanda, ID number 260471.
All right, thank you. We are here for initial appearance.
Okay.
And
Nous l'appuyons okay, I thought I was starting
No,
already.
you're
Go
okay.
ahead. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
you can do that. I would like that, actually.
Okay. Okay. Nous l'appuyons initial apparence.
This is Caratine Antone.
Antoine, yes.
Miss
Non, c'est Catherine Antoine.
Oui.
Yes.
Miss Antoine, you're here for the charge of battery. I am finding.
Madame Antoine. Oh, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Nous là pour yon charge de batterie.
Non,
No. Don't talk about it.
Okay.
Pas parler de lui.
You have a right to remain silent.
Ou gen droit pour rester en silence.
Anything you say can be used against you later in court.
N'importe ça que ou dit, vous pouvez utiliser le contour dans la justice.
You have a right to an attorney.
Vous avez droit pour yon demander un avocat.
If you can't afford one will be appointed to represent you.
Si que ou pas ka prend yon, y a bon yon pour représenter ou.
Do you want an attorney appointed?
Est-ce qu'on voulait plus de pour un avocat?
Oui.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. PTR
Yon
prior.
a public defense.
Sorry, that's my
Defense
fault.
a représenter ou. That's okay.
Prior record, PTR.
No prior history.
Ma'am, how long have you lived in the Orlando area?
Madame, dans zone Orlando. Ah. Combien de temps vous gagnez de pour habiter dans zone Orlando? Ah?
1994 to now.
I'm going to release you on your own recognizance.
Ma pour aller, dans Ignacio Pau.
You have an attorney and you need to get in touch with them, okay?
Vous avez un avocat ou vous avez besoin de contact avec eux.
You may not have any contact with the victim in this case.
Pas supposé gagner contact avec victime dans qui dans cas.
You can't have contact with them in person or on the phone.
Pareil. Ou pas supposé gagner contact avec lui dans téléphone
Or
ou
on,
bien face à face.
or on text or social media. No contact at all.
Dans texte ou bien dans social media ou pas supposé gagner contact avec lui du tout.
Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Merci. Bonne chance.
Thank you, interpreter.
Can I ask a question? That's
Yes,
what I'm
ma'am.
hearing. Oui, madame.
Problème moi Orange County pour problème pour safety. Et que moi shérif yo arrêté moi pour batterie. Mais c'est moi qui relais
Hold on one
Orange.
second. Let her translate that so we know what you're saying.
I'm the one that called the plantation for safety and they arrest me.
Yeah, you need to talk to your attorney now. You're going to be released, but you need to talk to your attorney.
Okay.
Ya vou aller, mais on vient pour parler avec avocat. ou.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you.
D'accord, merci. Bonne chance.
Thank you, Madam Interpreter. Have a great day.
Thank you for using our services. Anything else for you today, Your Honor?
No, ma'am.
Thank you so much. You have a good day.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Defense, anything further? We're in recess.